Hey guys, it's Maria Jones Hall with Vista Real Estate. I'm here today to talk a little bit about our market. I know it's been kind of crazy. It's what you consider a seller's market, which basically means we have low inventory, but we have a high demand. So what does that mean for a buyer? Most likely you're going to be in a multiple offer situation. You need to know that going into this, because otherwise you're going to get really frustrated. There's a few ways that you can win on a multiple offer situation, but you just have to be knowledgeable and understanding, and going into this knowing what you're getting into. So, number one, I want you to know a few ways of winning this multiple offer. Typically, a title policy and survey is paid for by the seller. It's not usually more than $2,500. Sometimes quite a bit less than that, even almost half of that, for a average priced home in our area. So what you can do is you can pay for that. If you have a 30-year loan and you're paying $2,500 over 30 years to win that house that you really want, to win that multiple offer situation, how much is that going to be over 30 years? Maybe pennies. So that's number one. Number two, you can take out the home warranty policy. We've been asking for home warranties for quite a while. And it's always good to have those home warranty policies, but it's something that you can pay for out of pocket. Typically they're $500 to $650. Pay for it after closing, pay for it before you go to closing, and just tell them when your closing date is so it's covered the day that you move in. And you can just pay that on a yearly basis yourself. Because if it's a difference of $500 and you ask for that home warranty policy, could you imagine kicking yourself later for asking for that? It's so simple. Also with closing costs. I know that closing costs can be expensive sometimes, somewhere in between $5,000 and $7,500. But if you add that to the top of the sales price, all the seller cares about is that bottom line. So you can still ask for those closing costs to be paid for, but also add it back in and that onto the top of the sales price. And then that way they're not feeling that hit. So that could be another way for you to win that multiple offer situation. Next thing I would suggest, local lenders. Big deal for sellers because you are dealing with somebody that actually is competent in our area. They are hiring appraisers that are from here, that know the home, know the actual appraised value, versus hiring somebody that's online or hiring somebody from a big city, and they're going to send out a big city appraiser that doesn't really know the value of our homes here. So it's not worth it for you or the seller. Nobody likes that. You're also able to get a hold of them easier. So sometimes on the weekend, you'll see these lenders working on the weekend, and you say you find a house on a Friday or a Saturday night, and you want to put that offer in immediately, and you want them to change the price for you on your pre-approval letter, maybe bump it up $10,000 so you can get that house that you want. Well, how are you going to do that if you can't talk to that person until Monday and that house is off the market on Monday? So another good reason to have a local lender. The last thing that I want to say, it's totally up to you and I don't suggest it, but you can always give up your option period. What does that mean? So we always ask for a termination period, which is called an option period. This time is usually anywhere from 7 days to 14 days. It allows us to do inspections, and it's basically us paying the seller to take it off the market for you while you're doing your property inspections and also putting in a repair amendment. Now, if it's a newer home, you may not care, but you can still do an inspection. It just means that you can't terminate based on the inspection. So it's something that you might want to forfeit, and they might think that that's a little bit more favorable. As far as time closing, unless you have a cash deal that you can close in 7 days, it's hard to close in 30 days right now. Appraisers are just completely backed up. So I know that we always want to make it possible to close as early as we can for both you and for the seller. But right now we're running between 30 and 45 days, 30 on the short end. So just be prepared for all that stuff. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. You can text me at any time as well. My phone number is 254-563-9058. Have a good one. Bye-bye.